All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to my rant channel, TMossBoss Rants, and welcome to another gaming rant video. And in today's video, we are going to be ranting about the Division 2. I feel like I didn't ranted about the Division 2 before. And if I have, then yeah, it's pretty much a repeat of something that I've already said. But recently I have been playing a lot of the Division 2. You know, it is one of those games where I have a love-hate relationship with the game. You know, I love the idea of it, but I hate how Ubisoft went about it. You know, because my thing is this. When I play a video game, I want to play it to the full maximum, extent that I can play with that game. Like, I want to play every aspect of this game. Now, there are some modes in the Division where it's not playable. You'll be sitting there waiting to get put into a lobby, and it's like, and there ain't no telling when you get put into that lobby. Like, there's been times where I've sat down, waited, I then went and scrolled through social media, then got rid of some loot in my character's backpack thing, done went to the bathroom, done made me something. I ain't did any and everything's possible. And I'm like, done went to a wedding, and I'm like, fam, and you'll still be like in the matchmaking section of the game. And I'm thinking to myself, why not just have it? Okay, because you already have like a player versus bot system in the game. Why not just have it where those modes can do that? You know, where you're going up against like it's still what the mode is, but it just has it where you're going up against bots, like some rogue division agents. To me, that would make a lot more sense versus having it set up where I'm just sitting there waiting and it ain't no telling when I'll get put into the game. Now, me being a gaming fan, I shouldn't be coming up with ideas like that. That should be left up to the developers. But it just seemed like nowadays where it's like, you see where fans, when they have like mod systems and stuff like that, fans be coming up with more content than the devs themselves, and they be doing it for free. To me, that's just crazy. I it's one of the, like, I just seen that yesterday where there was like somebody had came out with and I mean, like, yeah, I think that, due to copyright reasons, they wouldn't be able to do it. But I'm like, fam, if they could have WWE wrestlers in whatchamacallit, Call of Duty Warzone, I think Call of Duty, you guys can work out some stuff where it can have we're wrestling in like Call of Duty maps and stuff. Because somebody was showing that where they was wrestling in one of the backyards of the homes of Nuketown, and that was a mod for WWE 2K26. Now, if fans can do that, and that's why overall I wanted to put out this idea for the Division 2. Why not have a mod system for the Division 2, so at least there's like, now I can have a legitimate reason I'm playing the game versus playing the stuff that don't even work half of the time in the game. And I'm like, man, with the Division 2, it's like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with this game, but like, man, like, again, I love the idea of this game. Like, when the first Division game had came out, hooked on it. Like, you could not bring me away from that game. That was one of those games where I was like, if somebody were to say something bad about it, I would argue. I would be like, okay, yeah, you got to play the game a little bit more, maybe. But if not, if it ain't your cup of tea when it comes to a video game, hey, I ain't gonna knock it from you. But with the Division 2, when this game came out, there wasn't that feeling. Like, I remember when the Division 2, when it came out, there wasn't that feeling that I had when the Division 1 had came out. And that was the problem. I'm like, something seems off with this game. Then as the years went on, and I was like, I think I know what it is. Like, the Division 1, you were having fun with that game. You were seeing every aspect of that game, playing all the different modes, all that stuff. The Division 2 just seemed like it was a game where you were grinding for a lot of different things. Like, it took me, I didn't get the Bullet King. This game came out in 2019. I don't know when exactly the Bullet King weapon was added into the game, but I didn't get the weapon until this year. And I've been playing this game, like, I've been on and off with it, but when I do get back into playing the game, I usually play a lot of it. And I remember because they were saying that there's the 2 missions on the Warlords of New York DLC, that those are the missions that you have to play to get the Bullet King weapon. So I was playing those missions left and right on the hardest difficulties with all the directives turned on, and I was not getting that weapon. Now, the thing is this, because I know I'm going to upload this video, I know people are going to be hearing out what I have to say. Address that. Don't just address the things that you want to address. No, address that too. That doesn't, to me, make any sense, where you can play this game on the hardest difficulty with all the directives turned on and you don't get the weapon. what sense does that make? Why am I even playing the game if I'm not gonna? So it wasn't until what's this? It's some mode that's like popular right now in the division where yeah, that's how I ended up getting it. And then I think I can't remember what I had did. It was either opening up an exotic cash box or something like that. But then yeah, then I had ended up getting it through that too. So I had got it twice this year, and I'm thinking to myself, why not just have it set up where, okay, if you play this mission on the hardest difficulty with all the directives turned on, you have a 100% chance of getting this weapon. Instead, they have it set up where it's like a 0.1% chance of you getting the weapon, and you have to keep playing it over and over. At that moment when I was doing that, I had just yeah, I that's when I had to say the hate started building up for the Division 2. Then I ended up getting in on PC because I was like I wanted to switch over the mouse and keyboard. So I and that's how I have been playing the game lately. But so anyways, I'm playing the game starting. This was off of my last PC. Game would just randomly crash, can't do nothing, have to start the game all over. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not trying to have this set up or have this happen every single time when I'm playing the game. I'm just trying to play it. Like, why is it so hard for Ubisoft to just come out with an update to fix that? You know, but and then that's the thing because I do want to talk on the fans. I do want to talk on the fans because so and that's the thing where I'm like the fans are so toxic with this game because you can talk on like real problems that you don't see with no other game, and that's the thing with the last gaming PC that I had. I can play all of these other different games, no problems. Even Ubisoft games at times, I can play all of these different games, no problems, no crashing. It might be a crash here and there. The Division 2, I'll have to say, if I had played this game every week for a whole year, at least once, maybe even a few times. Like if it's, I don't know, feeling a little bit good about itself, it'll crash. So my thing is this, right? Now talking about the fans, if I talk about that, and then it's like, yeah, like how the games crash and there's problems with the games. The fans don't want to be all like, oh yeah, let's go and contact Ubisoft and try to figure out this issue. They want to argue with you about whatever the issue is. My thing is this, right? In a state of anger where I'm ranting about this game, do you really think I'm trying to argue about it? Do you really think I'm trying to hear out people on their good experiences that you have with the game? If you are having a good experience with this game, more power to you. I hope you have many more good experiences with the game. That's not going to change the experience that I have with the game. I wish people would understand that. If you tell somebody, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, I'm having a good time with the game, do you think that's going to cancel out whatever that person dealt with? Please answer that question and answer it truthfully. Don't be like, oh, I'm going to give him the answer where it's like it's going to lead into an argument. You know, if you were going through the same exact stuff that I was going through, you would be doing the same exact thing that I'm doing right now, and that's ranting about the video game. So I'm not hearing that, oh, the game's good. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe it's a skill issue. How is the game crashing the skill issue? That's one thing that I have seen a little bit with this game. So recently I have to say I've been playing the game a lot this year. Like I have to say I'll probably spend maybe like a week or two just like really grinding into the game and all that stuff because now I've just accepted that this is one of those games you got to grind for good things in the game. So listening to the crowd, people were saying that in order to get good gear in the game, you have to play like challenging. You have to play like one of the harder difficulties and stuff. All right, cool. No biggie, no problem. You know, I'll just try to get the best of the best equipment, best of the yeah, weapons, armor, all that stuff, and I'll start playing it on challenging. The thing is this. And this is, I guess, like just me still being in that same mindset that I was when I was a kid. When I play a video game, I want to have fun with that game. I don't want to challenge myself, you know, and it's like because at least for me, I grew up playing games like Mario, what else? You know, Grand Theft Auto. I'm trying to think of some other games, you know, games where you can have some fun with it. Now they would have their challenging missions, and that's one of those things where it's like, okay, if I'm here to play the mission, then okay, I guess like with me, I was like Mario Kart, I should say. You know, those are my go-to games. But it's a game where it's like it's a challenge to where it's like anybody, I guess, you know, you can like I guess conquer the challenge. You can like because I guess like with Mario Kart it would be like Rainbow Road or something like that where it's like, okay, can I race on this map without falling off on the sides? You know, once when you mastered that, then it's like fam, then yeah, you know, you're good at the game. The thing is this though, I guess for somebody that's never played the Division 2 but you played Mario Kart and you played like Rainbow Road, there if a Ubisoft were to do Rainbow Road, like this is how they would go about it. you can master it, but then they're going to figure out some way somehow to make it even more challenging. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, did you guys forget that this is a video game? Like, this is, I guess, like, this is, if somebody were to ask me to explain video games to them, video games is a reality that you escape to when life gets too challenging. But when you have video games like the Division 2 and all them other different challenging games where they want to like add this unnecessary challenge for no reason, why would I want to sit down and play that? That's why I'm like, I'm on and off with this game. Like, there'll be some days where I'll play it. And then when it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm not having fun with this game anymore. It feels like I'm working a 9 to 5. I end up uninstalling it. I'm like, I don't care for playing it no more. Probably ain't gonna never play it again. Then yeah, I end up finding myself playing the game all over again. But it shouldn't be like that though. Like that's the issue with this game is that you're forcing people to play on this challenging difficulty to get, and that's the thing, and it ain't even guaranteed if they're gonna get the stuff that they want to get, having it set up. And so this is probably the biggest issue with this game, the loot system. The loot system is so broken. You can play it on normal, hard, I think it's challenging, and then I think it's heroic. There might be a mode in between. I don't can't remember, but overall, you can play it on all of the difficulties. They will have it where you get like, so if you play on normal, you just gonna get the same normal loot. And then if you play it on hard, then you might get like the golden loot, and then it'll still be just the same loop of loot all over again. Then when you play on the harder difficulties, you might get some good stuff here and there, but usually they just gonna have it where you just keep getting the same. Like there's, I think it's like the Born Great, and then it's then the Big Show. So I think the Born Great is like an assault rifle, and at the Big Show is, I think it's like a light machine gun. I have gotten those weapons numerous times since like earlier this year of me like heavily getting into the game and playing it. I would have to say with both of those weapons alone, I've gotten them well over 20 times. And I think I can't remember exactly how I had seen that, but there's like a whole line of loot that I haven't gotten in this game yet where I'm like, fam, I should have been done got some of this loot in the game. Like there's like stuff that I'm seeing. So now they got like this like dust storm like event going on where they have it where if you go out and kill these guys, then you get these like these cash box keys. So I have been building that up, getting I try to get like at least over 10 when I'm playing the game. I'll get a lot of them, go and open up the cash box things, and they have been doing that, like looping the same loop. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this ain't even a difficulty thing. I'm just getting the keys and opening it up. So that's what I mean by the loot system being broken. People want to argue with them. I'm like, ain't no argument for it. It's broken, okay? Like, so just accept that. But anyways, but no, overall though, what was I was getting ready to say something I completely forgot because I was getting a message on my Apple Watch and stuff. So and go ahead, take that off. But anyways, yeah, but I was like, I just kept getting the same, just gonna improvise and continue off of somewhere. But yeah, getting the same stuff again. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, I want to get different things. Like, I don't know why. And it's like, so that was the latest weapon I was trying to get because I did, like I said, I did get the Bullet King twice. So the next weapon I wanted to get was this assault rifle, where a lot of people were saying it's a pretty good assault rifle. It's called the Lexington. All right, cool. Gonna go ahead and try to get me the Lexington. I played on so many different modes, on so many different difficulties. Finally, because of this dust storm event that's been going on, and then getting these key things, yeah, I was able to finally get it after opening up. Probably it was quite a few different. It was probably like maybe over 30, close to probably over 40 of those cash box, or yeah, it's like some dust storm cash boxes and stuff. But yeah, I finally got the weapon, and I'm thinking to myself, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be a situation where I'm like, I'm just having to open up the same, like I'm trying to get different gear in the game. And so, yeah, and it was like opening those up. I think that's what I was getting ready to say. Like there were some weapons that I hadn't even seen because it's like, you keep giving me the same loot. Give me different loot. That is the whole reason on why a person plays a game, is to get different things, not to get the same stuff over and over again. So, yeah, I'm like, Ubisoft, there's a lot of work that they need to do, but that's the thing. This game's been out since 2019. Like, it's been out for 7 years. Like, in a few more years, I'm like, my thing is this. 'Cause I don't know if they are gonna come out with a Division game. That's what they need to is to really work on the Division 3 if they do decide to come out with a Division 3. But if not that, and then this game is overall like, yeah, it's still being played in 2029. It'll be a 10-year-old game. and it'll still have problems that the game had 10 years before. That ain't normal, bruh. That's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you guys, Ubisoft is gonna really have to fix some things with this game. And then just, yeah, some honorable mentions, like my character gets stuck on stuff. Like I was just playing that the other day. He just was standing there, allowing himself to get shot. And I'm like, I don't know what you're not feeling when I'm pressing the, the mouse and keyboard buttons and stuff, whether I'm shooting or trying to move somewhere. Move if you're being shot at and stuff. But yeah, I'm like, from that to, and then, then it was I remember I was gonna stop playing the game because that was what had happened. So I'm playing the Summit. It's this mode where they got you go through like 100 floors in this building. So there was one enemy that I was shooting at, and his health just kept regenerating every time when I shoot at him. His health just kept regenerating, and I'm like, and that's one thing too. I had to say that was like something that I wanted to see in the game. And who knows, maybe if they do decide to add like mod support, then I'm like, yeah, maybe we might see it through mod support. But if not, then I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things where we might not ever see it. But so I remember a while back I was asking that, to see that in the game, that they should have like a zombie mode, right? So people were arguing, with it, saying that, Ubisoft wants the game to be realistic. There's no need for a zombie mode. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? When you have the words realistic and video games in the same sentence, it's probably one of the dumbest sentences that you'll ever hear, because there is nothing realistic about video games. Like, if I could just rant about that real quick, when we look at a lot of different video games out there, from racing games to first person shooters, third person shooters is like unrealistic by default, because it's like, my thing is this, right? How many times are you seeing yourself in third person shooting somebody? Like, that's why I would like, just to cancel that out. And then in the first person shooter, yeah, let's just mention Call of Duty for an example. Your character gets shot in the head and then you respawn in a corner somewhere across the map. How is that realistic? Racing video games, your car done flipped and rolled 100 times down some hill. Yeah, let's just say Forza Motorsports, or not Motorsports, but Forza Horizon. You done jumped off some cliff, done rolled down the hill, and your car is still drivable. How is that realistic? There is nothing realistic about video games whatsoever. So people saying that the Division 2 is like, oh, Ubisoft, that's their attempt at trying to be realistic, that's a horrible attempt. Because I ain't never seen nobody take, if you're, yeah, got a light machine gun, you like shot out 200 plus bullets at them and stuff, and I don't know what gun can hold like 200 plus. Is there, hold on for a second, let me just see something real quick. Hold on, is there a stock weapon that can hold 200 bullets? Let's just see. Maybe there is. Maybe there is. And I just don't know. Yes, light machine guns like the M249 squad automatic weapon comes stock from the factory, designed to hold and feed from a standard 200 round ammunition belt or plastic drum pouch. So it ain't like how, like, because they have the one weapon in the Division 2. It's like, I think they call it the Big Alejandro or something like that, and it don't have like no belt thing. Like, and I know what they're talking about, where it has like the bullets hanging out on the side. They don't have that. It's just a magazine, and I'm like, I know that magazine ain't big enough to hold no 200 bullets. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's just certain things about that game where I'm like, that's not realistic. So how are you going to sit here and try to explain to me the game's trying to be realistic, and they're only saying that because they're too lazy to add a zombie mode? And I'm like, fam, if that's, my thing is this: if you were to ask the crowd, would you guys want a zombie mode or one of these other different events that randomly be going on? I think a lot of people would ask for a zombie mode in this game. And I have a strange feeling that they advertised this a while ago. It was something that they with the Division 1, they made it seem like there was going to be and no, so the funny thing is, so I felt like there was a trailer where they did that. They advertised the zombie mode. And then on top of that, with the Division 2, they had like this resurrection mode where you shoot somebody, they fall out, and then I guess, like, yeah, it was like a randomly selected thing where they'll get back up and continue on shooting at you again. But this is supposed to be a realistic game, right? They can't add zombies, but they can add a resurrection mode. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, people, stop defending this game, all right? And then talking on Ubisoft, listen to the fans if they have complaints or ideas for this game, all right? So, but anyways, with that being said, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and peace.